All right.
So I still see your mug frozen with Notre Dame in the background.
Okay.
It's
I should be coming back on here soon.
okay.
All right. There we go. We're back.
Let me see where we're at here. So I'm pulling this up. We are live out here. So guys, Ernest is coming at us from Paris. And what's that in the background?
Bonjour. That is the Notre Dame Cathedral.
Notre Dame Cathedral. And tell us a little about the Notre Dame Cathedral there. Did you take a walk through that thing? I mean, like, can you walk in it?
Honestly, like I went around it and it's like all pretty much gated off, so I wasn't actually able to go through. There might be like some secret entrance I'm not aware of. So I will be trying to discover that after the call.
Nice.
Yeah, but I was hanging out at the Eiffel Tower not too long ago. That was pretty awesome. That thing is absolutely an amazing piece of architect. I was just looking at like the way it was engineered and the design. I'm just like, man, that took a lot of just thinking about the person that had to think about putting that together is just astronomical. Like it's an amazing piece of architect, and that's the biggest thing. Like I love being here. Is just like every single building and every single thing that's built here in Paris. Just like it feels like it's just built with love. Like there's so much detail and so much like effort put into every single piece of architect. Even like the apartment that I have with the Airbnb is just like everything is just built so well.
So you're over there in Paris. So how long are you going to be there for?
I'm going to be here until tomorrow. So I flew in on Saturday. So I think that puts me at what, like 4 days, 5 days? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like 4 days, 3 nights, or 5 days, 4 nights, something like that. And then I'm actually flying to Barcelona tomorrow. So that is going to be awesome. I was going to take a train. Like there's a train that goes directly from Paris to Barcelona. And me and my buddies, we thought it was going to be just a few hours, like 4 or 5 hours. And the train ride is actually 15 hours. So we all got shell shocked when we discovered that, and we all bought flights immediately. We're like, oh, 15 hours on the train, like it's a 2 hour flight, but 15 hours on the train, that's not cool. So yeah, we had to pivot a little bit.
It's
With
nice to be able to call audibles like that. You pulled a Peyton Manning, huh?
yeah, we had yeah, we had to pull an audible, man. It was just like, oh my gosh. But that's the life of a digital nomad sometimes. You can just call audibles and kind of hop around a little bit.
So Ernest, tell us a little about why you went to Paris. I know it wasn't to see all the sights, but you get a chance to do that. And share us a little bit about where you were like a year and a half ago. Because that's what most people don't see. I mean, most people see the results from, the labor that you put in, but you've been birthing this baby for a long time.
Oh yeah, no, I've been putting in work for quite some time, So really a year and a half ago, I was still working a full-time job. I was actually at the time I was working as a sales manager on a project. I was overseeing an area for Cox Cable in DC, Maryland, and Virginia, helping them with their outside sales teams. And I was transitioning from that to work as a human resource manager for another company because I just didn't like the way Cox was handling like the back end process. Like I was getting really frustrated with the customers that we were helping them acquire. And then just having terrible customer service on the back end. Like I was having people in their third and fourth month billing cycle still getting overbilled. And it was frustrating because I really care about people. And like when I put my word out there on something and I do everything I'm supposed to do, and then there's other things I can't control, which, should be handled, especially something like a billing issue. Stuff like that wasn't getting rectified. So I was transitioning to another company and I was working there, and I just I got the bug a little bit, for trying to figure out how the things work, like in an online, app. Literally since like 2009 with no success up until, this last 2 years where I really decided to actually take it serious because I just had a lot of things going on in life and just wanted to be able to, really provide for my family at a proper level that I wasn't doing up until that point. And I just looked at the internet and e-commerce as a way to be able to create some opportunities. So I said, enough is enough. I need to figure this stuff out, and decided to really commit and take it serious. And I was able to create some pretty good success pretty quickly.
And when you say pretty good success pretty quickly, explain. I mean, you were working, chasing the entrepreneurial dream for how many years now?
Yeah, since pretty much like 2008, 2009 time frame. So pretty much like a decade, I've been trying to figure out the whole not necessarily online, but just entrepreneurship in general. And just kind of failing miserably. I was pretty much chasing the corporate America dream. So I was kind of like 1 foot in, like with entrepreneurship, 1 foot out, because I was trying to be like this super awesome corporate person. Working as a marketing director and sales manager for a couple of different companies. And so it was just like, a little wishy-washy on the back end of what I was doing from an entrepreneur perspective. But, life has a way of, making you draw a crossroad and, really determine like whether or not you want to be serious or not.
And your crossroad left you where at that point? I mean, you were working as, you started out, in your career, you about 18, 19, you're going door to door, banging on doors, being the Cox communicator guy. I mean, like.
Yeah. I started, so that's essentially like I was going to Liberty University as a freshman in college. And then, my mom, she was having some challenges with the bills and stuff at home because my dad left my sophomore year. And so, they kind of separated. And so she was left to just kind of provide for me, my older sister, and my younger sister. My older sister, she was pursuing a law degree career to become an attorney, which she's actually achieved. So that's awesome. But I just kind of seen her struggling. So my sophomore year, I decided to quit school. And that's when a friend of mine was actually working at a door-to-door company. And she told me she was making $10 an hour, like passing out flyers, knocking on doors. And so I was just like, man, that is really awesome. $10 an hour. I wasn't necessarily excited about the door-to-door aspect. I'm just like, oh my gosh. But I was more focused on the $10 an hour, and I was like, yeah, I'll go knock on doors and pass out flyers for $10 an hour. And then what happened was, as I was kind of working, I think it was probably like my second or third week, I found out that you could get a thing called a commission, and I had never heard of that before. Like what is a commission? Like I'm only used to people working and then trading time for money, pretty much. Like you work X amount of hours, you get paid X amount of money. And so when I learned that you could get a commission if any of the leads that you generated for the company actually purchased something, I got fired up and excited. And so I really focused on learning how to pretty much, get people to have a desire and want to actually purchase different products and stuff for their home when I was working for the remodeling company. And I became a marketing director for the company. I wound up opening up an office for them. And this was in like my early 20s. I was like 20, 21. And pretty much like, I started just kind of chasing the corporate route. But, I knew that I wanted to do something. I just kind of didn't know what. And so as far as from an entrepreneurship perspective, I tried doing affiliate marketing. I tried doing building my own remodeling company with some family. That didn't work out. I did network marketing. It was just like I was just poking at all these different things and just was just trying to find my swag.
So as you're finding your swag, you went through this, you had your trials, tribulations, and ultimately you settled on what you're doing now. And how has what you're doing now changed everything from you? So that was a year and a half, last June that I met you. Fast forward now, we're just out of July into August 1st right now. And you're now launched your business on Shopify. I know you're killing it. You're meeting with completely different type of people that you were a year and a half ago. Like what was the big change for you that one thing you figured out that everybody wants to know? How do I get a chance to get to Paris? How do I get a chance to live the life I've always wanted, to walk away from my corporate job? And you were serving what was called a 7-year cubicle sentence, already in corporate America. And there's a lot of people out there that want to be, living the lifestyle. You're at that freedom lifestyle right now. How did you do it, man?
Man, I really, pretty much the thing for me was that, there's a lot of people out here talking about, making money on the internet, building e-commerce stores and things of that nature, but nobody's really helping people actually make money, make results. And the thing for me, like the one thing I learned how to do was like to actually get people to convert on my site. Like if I had to like narrow down just the one thing, it's like I learned how to build a website that sells. Like every store that I launch is built to sell. Like it's not built just to generate traffic. It's not built just to be another placeholder in for advertising. Every single store I build is built to sell. And that's the one thing I really focused on out of all the other stuff that I was learning on the internet. It was like, okay, like, picking a niche is cool, getting suppliers is cool, but I need to learn how to actually make money. At the end of the day, if it don't make money, it don't make sense. So for me, I really, put my back against the wall to really learn how to make that happen. Because like when I was working full time, I wound up losing all three of the vehicles that I actually owned at that point in time. I literally, it was like one thing after another. Like literally, all three vehicles just blew up, and it was just like a traumatic experience because I was still working full time. Fiance was working full time at the time. I had just launched my online store, and it was just like, man, I need to learn how to make this thing sell. I need to learn how to make it sell fast. And it just so happened that, during that time period, I didn't quit on my store like I had done my other entrepreneurial ventures. I said, you know what? I'm going to learn how to figure this thing out. Like, I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure I give it the best effort that I possibly can, even if it makes me bankrupt. And so because I made that decision and drew that line in the sand, it really forced me to, get very creative about things that I can do on my store that will actually help me generate revenue. And so because I didn't quit in that process, I wound up actually getting like a large sale that gave me enough profit from that in order to drive the brand new Kia Soul that I'm actually driving right now today. Like because I didn't quit on my business actually provided for me and my family. Because at the time, like when we were at the dealership and I had that order come through, me and my fiance, we were sitting down, we were signing the deal, signing the paperwork, and obviously we knew that that was just one good deal that we had. But she looked over at me, and the sales manager was just like, you sure? Are you guys sure you can afford the monthly payment? Like, are you sure? And she looked over at me, and she just had this look, like, just she looked at me and was just like, are you positive? Like, can you actually do this? And it was just like a feeling of just like just not really being a man, just like just this absolute just like gut wrenching feeling. And I was just like, I'm gonna find a way to make this thing happen. Like come hell or high water, like this thing is gonna happen. I'm gonna crush this business, and I'm gonna figure out a way to win. And because of that, I put my back against the wall and I just went to work. Like I didn't say anything to her. I didn't talk about nothing. I just flat out started grinding and grinding and grinding. And within 7 months of me actually launching my online business, I was able to make enough money to replace my full-time income. And, the rest is pretty much history. I'm able to pretty much manage my entire business. Like 90% of my business I manage from my cell phone. Like actually just before this call, I was processing. I actually sent a purchase order over to my supplier because I literally just had a sale before this actually popped up. I was like, oh, I got a sale. Let me go and send this over before we hop on our live session. But, you're able to do that when, you learn how to, leverage the internet and build a, drop shipping business or e-commerce business, that, provides value to the marketplace. And that's what it comes down to in the sales aspect. That's one of the biggest nuggets that I've learned with the selling place. So,
That's
yeah, man.
all in. Number one thing right there is just all in, burnt the boats. You went after it and resulted to where you're at today. So I'd like to say congratulations. First of all, Ernest, what's the best place for people to get a hold of you? I know you're opening up some slots out there that you've been helping some people or their businesses in the Shopify space. What's the best way for people to kind of reach out for you?
So the best way to reach out to me, I'm actually working on putting together a new program and everything to help accelerate people's success rates with building their online businesses. So the domain is in the process and it works right now.
Cool. And if somebody wanted to reach out to you right now, is the best way to just reach out to you on Facebook?
Yeah, just reach out to me on Facebook. You know, the difference between me and all these other like people that have all these crazy income claims and all these crazy stories is like, I'm a real deal person. You can reach out to me directly. You know, I'm not shy. You know, I'm here to help and serve people. I've, had the privilege over the last just a year to do over 1,100 coaching calls worldwide, helping and serving people get results. So once I've been able to, achieve the success I've gotten, I've actually been able to give back to multiple people across the world to help them achieve success too as well. So yeah, reach out to me on Facebook. You can Google me. You'll see tons of content, tons of podcasts and radio shows and stuff I've been featured on. So yeah, just contact me. I'm on Facebook, and I'd love to hear about where you're at in your journey, and see how we can serve you best.
And if there was one thing you could say to somebody out there who is facing, that pivotal point of, hey, I'm just thinking about giving up, what would you say to them?
Man, just really like focus on what you got started for. Like, why did you get started? I've had a mentor tell me, so many times over and over again, like success is a thought process. It's that, life is going to happen, things are going to happen, but it's not what happens to you. It's what happens in you. So whatever's happening to you is happening to you because it's helping you grow. It's helping you to get to the next level because, when you're in the gym, you're lifting weights, like you don't grow muscle by, lifting the same exact weight and doing the same routine exercise. You grow muscle by tearing that muscle down, and by tearing that down, it's going to rebuild, and then it's going to allow you to grow and to expand and to be able to lift and get to higher weights. So, same thing happens to us in life. Like circumstances, situations, they come up, and, it's going to challenge you. Like life is going to rock your world. It's going to punch you in the face. It's going to drag you through the mud. It's going to be very challenging. Like, as much as I'd love to say every day is a good day, every month is a good month, it's not. But, I always learn to figure out a way to get through it. So, let that circumstance and situation that you're going through, really challenge you and say, hey, like, this is happening to me because there's a next level that I need to get to. And this situation is going to help me grow. So then I can take that situation and turn it into a positive circumstance.
Awesome, man. Well, I appreciate you sharing, Ernest. Best of luck with all the venture that you're working on. Enjoy Paris, man. Looking forward to seeing the pictures on Instagram and Facebook and everything. You're an inspiration to everybody, inspiration to myself, and look forward to seeing pictures from Barcelona next, man. That's going to be cool.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're hitting up Barcelona, then Rome, then London. So yeah, we got a nice international trip going on.
There you go, man. Enjoy the time with the fellowship with the other entrepreneurs you're working with, man.
Absolutely.
All right, I'll see you.
All right, guys. Later.